Alright, y'all haven't seen this. Angle before. Alright, yeah, so I just want to come on here and say that I am starting the Final Gambit. Now, I'm hoping to start this actually today, but I just want to come on here and say that I am. This is the official The Final Gambit vlog. Very excited. Yeah, there isn't much to say. I was going to read... No, I wasn't. I'm not even going to say that lie. I was going to say that I was going to read the first two. Y'all, I don't even reread, so that wasn't even an option. I don't know why I was about to lie like that. I watched a summary about what happened in both books, and I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it and also like kind of just flip through the books really quick, and then I'm gonna start this. So this should be really exciting. I'm like low-key kind of scared, like what's gonna go down. And of course there are going to be spoilers in this vlog. So after I like flip through and watch the summary again, I'm gonna come back to you guys and say like all my predictions, everything I'm thinking. Yeah.
You thought I was feeling you? Okay, hopefully you heard that. Okay, so I realized that I never came back to you to talk about my predictions. I did start the Final Gambit. Look at the little bookmark I made. Cute. I think I'm 16 pages in chapter 5. Here are my predictions. I want Avery to be with Grayson, but we all know it's gonna be Grayson.
Please, I'm sick for that, but I meant Jameson, not Grayson. I hope.
Rolls eyes. Didn't this man say that he's just a puzzle to her? He said something crazy, and I'm not gonna let him pass. I like Grayson. And if Avery doesn't choose Grayson, then I will. Toby will be back even though he ran away. We already know that. He gotta come back. I'm sticking with this Tobias isn't dead theory. I think that would be the biggest plot twist ever. And if I get it right, it's September 17, 2:39 p.m. And I'm saying that Tobias Hawthorne isn't dead. Eve is Emily. Okay, so when Melly, the housekeeper, right, that was with Nash before in the past, showed the picture of Evelyn or Eve to Toby and Avery, and Avery said that Eve looked exactly like Emily. So, and we never heard of this Eve until that moment. Like, no one heard of Eve. Who's Eve? We don't know. I don't even think Toby knew he got the person pregnant. So why does this girl look like Emily? Unless Eve is Emily. And Emily didn't really die off that cliff. Ever think of that? I don't think you have. So Emily didn't die off the cliff and just wanted revenge because she was like, bro. And this would make sense because if Eve is Emily and Toby were brother and sister. Oh my God. So that's why when they did the test, it came back that Eve had Toby's blood in it. Oh my God. Oh my God, wait, stop. And I think, doesn't Toby have like memory loss? Holy crap. Grayson and Jameson led me to my death. They were just gonna let me die here. So yeah, Eve is Emily. Some betrayal will happen that will break our hearts. Someone's gonna die. Toby took that disc from Avery. ... seemed important. They mentioned it. Jameson and Avery, they said they're gonna get it back. So I'm curious. Eve coming into the house will mess up Avery's inheritance. ... Why does Toby want Avery to have this inheritance so bad? Obviously, because she's his quote-unquote daughter. But I think there's an ulterior motive why he wants Avery to have this inheritance. Maybe he doesn't want anyone in the family to have it, like the Hawthorne house, to disinherit them because of everything he's gone through. And we already know he doesn't like the Hawthorns. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like his family. It's very corrupt. He said in the poem that it poisoned him and his sisters. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't like it. So like, what other way to have revenge than to disinherit them and have no money? Oh yeah, Eve coming into the house, drama. Why did Tobias want Avery to inherit? Question mark. I'm still confused. Yeah, I'm hoping that can get answered because at the end of the Hawthorne legacy, she was like, I found Toby. I know my mother's secret, and I understand why Tobias wanted me. I'm like, I don't. Did I miss something? Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the right. Because, babe, what did I miss? Why does Tobias want her? Why does Tobias want Avery? I don't know. Maybe to, like, lead Toby back into the family. To bring Jameson and Grayson together after Emily's death. Maybe. Stop. Everyone shut up. Maybe Tobias knew about Eve. Maybe Tobias knew about Eve because guess what? He had pictures of Harry and Avery in the park after her mom died. Harry is Toby. Avery saw them on his desk. He has to know about Eve. Tobias knew about Eve. So maybe bringing Avery in would trigger Eve to come into the house? I don't know. But yeah, those are my predictions. On with the show.
Literally terrible. So it is 1 in the morning. I got to page 50 in the Final Gambit, and Toby is kidnapped. He was with Eve. They like ran away, went off the grid after Toby saw someone, and then they had to split up, Toby and Eve, and they agreed to meet up at this place. Toby never came, and then a guy came and like hit Eve and like took a disc from her that she didn't even know about apparently. And when confronted about this disc, she was like, I don't know. Babe, you're lying. And also, the fact that, like, Grayson is all up on her, like, can we stop this, please? Like, I'm a Gravery stan. Like, I love Grayson and Avery. So the fact that this is happening is making me physically sick. And I feel like this is making me a Jameson and Avery shipper. And I'm scared. Like, why do I like when they have scenes together? Why do I like the way Jameson treats Avery? I don't know. But then someone sent a letter to them with like a scrambled letters on them, and it spelled out revenge, vengeance, and avenger with the disc in the envelope. So I'm very curious as to who has Toby. Maybe no one has Toby. Maybe Toby told Eve to just go to the house. I don't know. I don't trust Eve. I don't trust anyone in this book. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep and get back to you tomorrow. Hey, so let's not talk about what day it is. Yeah, so I haven't been reading for a while. You know, school's really been kicking me in my butt. But I said this, that like when school starts, I'm not gonna have time to read, unfortunately. But it's a Saturday morning and I am reading, the Final Gambit. But I just wanted to make this note because I feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes, okay, so they're trying to figure out who took Toby, and they're running through the people that could have taken him. So they're like the Roonies, because Avery's mom's sister was on the island with Toby, and she died from the fire, and Tobias blamed Kaylee for the fire, so like it could like save Toby and like their reputation or whatever. So it would make like perfect sense on the Roonies taking Toby and sending that message to Avery. But then that got quickly dismissed. Avery contacts them. She's like,
oh yeah, they don't have him, because if they did, like, they would try to kill him
or something. And then they're like, Sky did it because she tried to kill me, and then Sheffield Grayson blamed her for something that she didn't do, so now this is her revenge. Like, why do we go from such like a good, like, oh my god, that could be it, the Roonies, let's investigate. We don't know anything about the Roonies, so you know, investigating, going over there, that would be so fun, so cool, such a new place and characters to explore. Then we go back to the same character that we've known since book 1, Sky. This is what I said before, and this is my problem with the books, because they always have this great path they're following. They're like, oh my god, yeah, it could be the Roonies, and then they always skirt back and go back to the same character, Sky, being the culprit. And if Sky is actually the culprit, I'm gonna be so mad. Because can we have something new? Can we have something different? Like the Roonies. That would have been cool. That would have been different. But we always revert back to Sky. The same dusty character. Like, I'm sick of it. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to reading. Shut up! Ooh, I'm so smart. Hello everyone, so I am 100 pages into the Final Gambit, and I just wanted to come on here to talk about a little something. I don't know if I made this clear before, but I was, for the first 2 books, I was a Grayson and Avery stan. I loved Grayson. I wanted him and Avery to be together. I didn't like Jameson. Ever since he said that Avery was a puzzle to him, I was like, no, he's not the man for me. But since he wants to be over here playing with Eve, still in his feelings with Emily, and Jameson is low-key treating Avery like a queen now, like, I have no other reasoning than to be a Jameson and Avery stan. I'm liking Jameson. Grayson is giving me all over the place. The first 2 books, he knew what he wanted. I just feel like now he just doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know anything. Like, he's always just been like on a straight path, and now there's lanes and he's making every which way, every turns. I'm just not feeling it anymore. Definitely like Jameson more, but my favorite brother is Nash. I love Nash. I also kind of like Xander. He's funny. My prediction that Tobias knew about Eve, babe, I said that in the beginning. Y'all remember when I said my predictions right here? Yeah, so I'm right, like I always am. This isn't anything new actually, but this just got confirmed. And then that just makes Tobias choosing Avery to inherit all his money even weirder. Like, I know we already know why he technically chose Avery, to like bring Jameson, Grayson back together, and also bring Toby out of hiding or whatever, and like just like help the family, I guess. But now that just raises more questions, because you knew that Toby had a biological daughter and you still picked Avery. I have some questions. And also, Alyssa, I feel like something's gonna go. I feel like she's gonna betray them, because everyone was mad because she took Avery from the hospital. Then they're finally letting her back in. Like, I feel like she's gonna betray them. As I was finishing the chapter, I got an idea. Because Alyssa said that the companies that Tobias has like a huge chunk, like he owns a huge chunk of the company, stuff is going wrong. And I was like, okay, so I'm connecting that to Toby's captor, because Toby's captor put a message to Avery saying,
I always win in the end.
So I'm thinking, okay, so they have to have some sort of power. We were thinking the Roonies. The Roonies are garbage, right? They don't have that much power, but we already said they didn't take him. Sky didn't take him. I don't know who else we have. But I'm like, whoever's doing this has to be powerful. So I'm thinking Alyssa maybe? Or, back to my other prediction, Tobias isn't dead. Tobias isn't dead. Because who's more powerful than Tobias? No one that I can think of. So I'm right. Also, what Nash said about, hold on, Avery was like,
if you have a baby,
and Nash was like,
when I have a baby, she'll be my whole world.
babe, I'm jumping off a bridge. Anyway, love that I'm finally reading it. I'm gonna try to read more later. Goal is 150. Let's do this. I'm liking it. I was getting a little bored. I was like, babe, nothing is happening, but stuff is getting unveiled. And I hate that. I just don't like Eve. I don't like that she's infiltrating on Grayson. And then I really do think that Eve is Emily. Because Rebecca met her, she's like, bro,
how does she look like her? She sounds like her.
I understand that Emily is Eve's aunt, but babe, you shouldn't look exactly like her or sound as Eve is Emily. Eve is Emily. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Eve's a liar. She did something, and that's all I'm gonna say. Not liking Grayson and Eve together. Loving Nash. Loving Xander. Max is hilarious. Like, when she like curses, like fax me. Babe. I'm sorry, but it makes me laugh. Rebecca and Thea, I don't really care. I think that's it. Anyway, I'll be back with an update. Ideas. Okay, so my idea is they found out that this guy who is Toby's captor is Luke, okay? He's an old man and he does riddles. He's basically Tobias Hawthorne. I'm like, that's Tobias Hawthorne. Tobias took Toby. Now listen here. Page 126. Toby's captor had referred to himself as old. He'd called me by my full name. He played with words and with people. He likes riddles and games. I knew someone who fit that description, but billionaire Tobias Hawthorne was dead. He'd been dead for a year. Or has he? So then I'm thinking, skip 10 pages, 136. Avery is reading Luke this verse from the Bible that they found out, like the clues that he sent them, they found out that, oh, this is a verse from the Bible, so she's reading it off to him. The prodigal son demanded his inheritance early. I said, try not to let any of the emotions I was feeling into my voice. He abandoned his family and squandered the fortune he'd been given. But despite all this, his father embraced him upon his return. If that is not Toby and Tobias, because if memory serves me correctly, I think
that's literally what happened. I think Toby was mad. He said,
F this, I'm out.
I don't know if he took his fortune. I don't know what he did. I don't really remember. But he left. He set fire onto the island, and then his father was helping him. He was paying Toby through different charities, you know, like making it seem like he was paying charities, but it was really just going to Toby. Yeah, his father still took him in after all the wrong he's done. Or he did. So that makes me think either this, for some reason, this is Tobias Hawthorne. This is Tobias's brother, maybe a forgotten son, but it's an older man, so that doesn't make any sense. And then I'm like, Luke. Luke might be the father of the other guy who died. David? I'm not entirely sure. So then I'm thinking Ricky, but Ricky is stupid and dumb, so it can't be Ricky. I said, where's Zara? Because, babe, where is she? And the other family, I forget if his name was Colin or David. I think his name was David. It might be like his dad. I did it. I figured it out. That's it. New quick theory. So they said, we thought Tobias had another son. That's where I was getting at. Because I was made to feel like my prediction was wrong about David. The other guy that was on the island, like it was probably like his dad who took Toby. I was made to feel like that prediction was wrong. So then they were like, maybe Tobias had another son. And then Nash was like, no, like he was faithful. He wouldn't do that. So then they're like, maybe a son-in-law, Zara's ex-husband. They go to Zara. They're like, what was he like? She was like, yeah, like after I tried to get a divorce from him, like he tried to Tobias talk some sense into me, but he died, so can't be the ex-husband. And then they're like, okay, so we assume that Toby was the prodigal son and Tobias was the father. So then I'm thinking maybe Luke is the father. Who is the son? Who's the son? Toby can't be the son, right? Then I was thinking maybe Luke is the father of Eve. You're like, what? Toby's the father. Walk with me. The waitress that Toby got pregnant had 2 other kids, Eli and Melly. What happens if their dad was there? I'm pretty sure he was, if I'm not correct. Maybe I'm wrong. What happens if that is Melly and Eli's dad? Because Eli and Melly felt a certain way that Eve didn't get a piece of the pie, and they didn't get a piece of the pie. So what happens if their dad, who I'm pretty sure was there with Eve... Give me a second. Let me see what they say. One of the sons... Wait. Everyone shut up and be quiet. Tobias's brother. Didn't I say that earlier? I said Tobias's brother. I said this. But why steal Toby? Steal Toby. Maybe Luke knew how much Toby meant to Tobias. Interesting. This is crazy. Guys, so you might be like, Chan, is it the same day? No, it's the next day. I just have the same clothes on. But we have been making incredible progress, okay? I ended off the night on page like 174. I was striving for 200. I was out. I was like, this isn't happening. But now we are on 250. And I was led astray multiple times. We thought it was one person. It wasn't. We thought it was this person. We thought this clue meant that. 2 of the big like mysteries going on intertwined. And then like if we figure out this mystery, that will tell us who took Toby. And it kind of did. I was set on Toby's captor being Tobias himself, David's father, or Toby's biological father. But doesn't seem like it's either of those. I still think we have a chance at this captor, but honestly, I don't know. I think we found the main culprit. So let me tell you. So the puzzle that Tobias left Avery to solve led them to a name. Vincent Blake, okay? The only reason that Avery has this puzzle to begin with is because she met Eve. It was told to the lawyer firm, that if Avery ever came into contact with Eve, real name Evelyn, to give Avery this puzzle, this mystery to solve. So it's only triggered because Eve came into the picture. Why? That means that Eve would have some level of danger. Like, something had to have gone wrong. Right? So Tobias knew about Eve, and he knew that if Avery and Eve ever met, that meant something was wrong. That's where I'm getting at. I haven't trusted her from the beginning. I've been saying this, and now Avery, as well as Jameson,
are with me on this. We're on the same wavelength that we don't trust this girl. She took Xander's father's file that explained that his father Isaiah worked for Vincent Blake. Now, if that isn't a red flag, so the clue that they got from Tobias, the clue revealed a patent number. The patent number led to an invention that Tobias Hawthorne and Vincent Blake were working on. Who is Vincent Blake? When Tobias was young, he worked for Vincent Blake, so he was his boss, right? And Vincent kind of took Tobias under his wing, right? So he would have dinners with him. Tobias didn't really have any other family. Tobias, when he met Alice, his wife, he was bringing her over, and Vincent had a son, but this son, William Blake, he left. It's so much to explain. His son left. But get this, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. When Avery got in touch with Luke, ergo, we're thinking Luke is Will. So Luke told Avery on the phone, hey, yeah, you can just call me Luke. So we just been going by Luke. Luke is Toby's captor, but we're like, who really is Luke? Now we're thinking Luke is Will, Blake, Vincent's son. Walk with me. Bro. You get one breeze and you turn on the heat to full blast. It's sick, really. Avery's on the phone with Toby's captor. He says, call me Luke. Avery reads the verse, the Bible verse, that I'm pretty sure I explained earlier, that was talking about a prodigal son that stayed and was loyal but still didn't get anything. Another character that just kept messing up. And then the father who kept accepting the son that kept messing up, and they got the reward. The prodigal son who stayed and was loyal got no reward, right? Fast forward, like I said before, Vincent took Tobias under his wing. Vincent had a son, William Blake. Tobias was older than Will. Vincent and Tobias, they were building stuff together, they were working together, they collaborated, right? Tobias eventually saw who Vincent Blake was, and he wasn't a good person. His family weren't good people. One day, he had Alice over, his wife, and Vincent's nephews and cousins, they like harassed and manhandled Alice, which, babe, that's not good, babe. So Tobias was like, F you, I'm going to do you a better one, and we're gonna work on this invention together, get it patent, the invention's gonna suck. And then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to build a new invention, get that patented, then make millions and billions off of that. Run you to the ground. Tobias did that, and Vincent was like,
You got me. You got me. I'm gonna let you have that.
So Vincent let Tobias just go. He was like, okay, fine. Will, Vincent's son, felt a way about that. He was like, wait, so you just let this man, this outsider, just... Why is the fire truck here? You know I love me some fighters. I like go outside and lay on the ground so they can like talk to me. That long ass truck, how do they get it up the street? How do they make that turn? Y'all, how do you drive that? I don't know what's going on. To be a fighter, that's scary. So you just let this guy, this outsider, into our family. He's richer than you. You're literally nothing but dust, and took away money that I could have had. This could have been my money. I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's basically where we're at. Will is mad at his dad that he let Tobias into their family and basically take their money. Not take their money, but just be more richer than them and go above them in terms of status and money. Will's mad because that could have been his money and he could have been like the big Tobias Hawthorne name and status. But instead, his dad just like let him go and let him off. Also, Tobias Hawthorne got his whole shtick, the whole like clues and puzzles, from Vincent. That's what I'm getting. If I remember correctly, I've been getting so much information that unfortunately things are falling through the cracks. It's also revealed that Tobias Hawthorne isn't a good man because remember that guy I mentioned, Isaiah? Yeah. So Isaiah Alexander is Alexander's dad, Xander, right? That was so much. Isaiah Alexander is Xander's dad. Isaiah used to work for Tobias Hawthorne until he got Sky pregnant. Sky is Tobias Hawthorne's dog. They got pregnant, they had Xander. Xander's like, well, why did you leave? Did you even want me? Isaiah's like, I wanted you, but your grandfather fired me, and all the money that I had, I used for a lawyer to get a paternity test, and it came out negative. So then, it's revealed that the Hawthorne family rigged the paternity test incest, so Isaiah couldn't have custody over Xander because Tobias didn't want to share Xander or any of his, I was gonna say offspring, but like I don't think that's correct, any of his, I guess, family with anyone else. I think he just wanted to be the main male figure, and I think there's something wrong with that, because why don't you want the father of your grandchildren's kids? What? Why don't you want the father of your grandchildren in their lives? This is confusing for me too. Will is one nickname for William, but another one is Liam. I remember Liam. I remember that name, but who is Liam? Before I forget this stuff, I think Grayson's in on it. Because Grayson, he's just been acting so weird. He might just be like blindsided because Eve looks like Emily, and we know that Grayson was head over heels. I would do anything in the world for you, in love with Emily. So that might be it. Still don't trust Eve, never did, never will. The fact that he calls her Evie makes me sick to my stomach. And Rebecca's mom, Eve's grandmother, is so weird. She's like, call me mom. Rebecca, her actual daughter, is like, well, what happened to the guy that you had Eve with? She was like, that's none of your business. And then Eve asked her, she's like, whatever you want. Like, ew. I just found the answer. Okay, I'm so smart. So first of all, I found out who. Wait, page 200. I said, is Toby's captor his dad? Next page, 201. Eve is asking Mallory, Rebecca's mom, who is the guy who's Toby's dad? And she said Liam. His name was Liam. He left. Liam left. You know who also left? Will Blake, Vincent Blake's son. Oh, and he's old. So that makes sense on how he's Toby's dad. They're like about the same age, 15, 24. What is that? That's 5. That can't be 9. Wait, that is 9. Wait, what? The way they're opening windows, kind of scared. So they're 9 years apart. Tobias is older. He left. His name was Liam. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. I was right. I was right. Toby's captor is his dad. 3 pages later, 207. Maybe Mallory, Eve, and the captor are doing this to get the estate for themselves because of what Tobias did. The captor is looking like Toby's bio dad, David's dad, or maybe Tobias. Babe, I am so beyond smart. It makes me sick to my stomach. I did it. I solved the mystery. I didn't need anything. I solved the mystery. See, this is the thing. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised. Because I predicted this. Why call him Luke? I'm that girl. Toby's captor is his dad. Oh my god. Toby's captor is his biological dad, William Blake, who is Vincent Blake's son. Vincent Blake and Tobias collaborated. They used to work together. Vincent was Tobias' boss. Tobias cheated him out of this invention, patented it, made billions off of it. Vincent was like, you won, man. You won. Forgot all about it. Whatever. Will... Oh my god. That makes so much sense because Mallory Laughlin, Rebecca's mom, Eve's grandmother, said that they would always sneak around Hawthorne House. Tobias would be mad if he saw what she was doing. Mad because... Was this plot from the beginning? Did Will intentionally get her pregnant? Wait, whatever. Oh my god. And then maybe Will's mad because Tobias took his son and claimed it was his. Another thing he took away his son, his money. His dad liked Tobias more? Babe, this makes so much sense. Oh my god. And then she was running around the house with him. Then he just left. Will just left. Liam just left. They're the same person. That makes so much sense because Tobias and freaking Vincent, they were like this at one point. That makes sense on why they were over each other's houses, how Mallory, Rebecca's mom, Eve's grandma got together. Yeah, I figured it out. Like, light work. Look crazy, but all I want to say is Avery is eating every single person in this house that has to do with Eve up. Everyone that has to do with Vincent Blake, she's eating them up. She's like, what's in that locket, Eve? A disc? Because you're related to Vincent Blake, right? Oh, Mallory. Why do you want me to leave? Because you were 16 when Will Blake, 20 years old at the time, you were sneaking him into the house. It was his idea to get you pregnant so he can have a piece of the Hawthorne name? Something? Interesting. She's eating everyone up. And Grayson, I'm gonna need you to stop interfering. Unless you're a part of it too, which don't think I didn't think of that before. I'm physically exhausted. I can't do this anymore. Why did Avery just call Vincent Blake? She's like, what do you want? He said, what do I want? Avery Kylie Graham, guess. Avery says, I'm done guessing. He says, isn't it obvious? I want the truth that Tobias Hawthorne hid from me all these years. I want to know what happened to my son, and I want you, Avery Kylie Graham, to dig up the past and bring me his body. What do you mean, bring you his body? William Blake, that means his father is dead. I need a second. Toby's father is dead, meaning William Blake is not Toby's captor. I just went on a 25 minute rant, expose, if you will, on how it makes so much sense that I knew I shouldn't have done that, because we're always on a path that's like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This is it. This is the answer. We got it. And then I'm always slapped in the face, thrown against the wall, stepped on, spat on, and rolled to the curb. Always. I shouldn't have jumped the gun. I can't do this anymore. I've been doing this for 2 days. 2 days I've been doing this. Back and forth, slap in the face, kick in the butt. Y'all, bring me his body. So can Vincent Blake be the captor? Okay, at least we know Toby's dad is William Blake. That's what that makes so much sense. But he died? Or maybe my theory, Toby's captor can be David's father. Who's David's father? I've explained this a million times, I think. All those people that are on the island with Toby when he set it on fire. Kaylee, Avery's mom's sister, was on the island. Tobias blamed Kaylee for it. She's dead. This other guy, Sheffield Grayson's nephew, he died. So is Sheffield Grayson. He's dead as well. The only guy left is David Golding. David Golding is the only person left. We have not investigated him at all. He is the only possibility, unless something else is pulled out of thin air. I'm so confused. I'm really not. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm just exhausted. Because what are we doing? What is next? So that's my theory now. I feel stupid dumb for literally going on that entire rant, being like, this is why this makes sense. Everything about that storyline, plot twist, makes sense, except for the fact that William Blake is not alive. That's the only thing that's just like, what? But then what does Vincent have to do with this? Guys, I'm going insane. Then why is Vincent calling? I'm so confused. Okay, I might have jumped the gun again. Literally the next page, Vincent Blake believed his son was dead. So does Vincent Blake not know that any of this is going on? Maybe Vincent Blake doesn't know anything is going on. So that means that William Blake can still be Toby's captor. He thinks his son is dead. Is that why he's going by Luke? Interesting. Oh my god. William Blake is disgusting. He went by Liam to Mallory because she was 16 at the time. He was 20 years old. She was sneaking him into Hawthorne House. He planned that. He sought out Mallory. He did that on purpose. You dirty pedophile. That's why he was he went by Liam by her. She didn't know who he was. Goes by Luke to Avery. Vincent thinks William is dead, probably because of the Toby thing. Vincent probably thinks Tobias killed his son, Will. This is too much. And not to mention, Grayson is an op. Because why was he over there? Avery, stop. Avery, this isn't you. I was wrong. Grayson, I couldn't give a single care in the world about how you feel right now. Nor that you're walking off like a child. We don't care. I don't care because you have been nothing but a obstacle in this whole book. You have been nothing but an obstacle. Nothing but a brick wall. When we talk to Grayson, if anything's negative about Eve, babe, it's a brick wall. You might as well talk to the floor. And Jameson, babe, when did you get insecure? Because he was like, this made me almost cry. Avery was like, it was always going to be you. Jameson says, it's times like this, Eris, that I wish I hadn't fallen in love with a girl who wasn't so good at bluffing. End the book. End the video. I'm done. Because first 2 books, Grayson stan. I loved Grayson, hated Jameson, wanted Gravy to happen. This book, I'm like, absolutely not. Grayson is being the op. Grayson isn't doing what Grayson should be doing. Grayson isn't giving. So then I'm like, okay, I'm a Jameson stan. I love Jameson and Avery now. Love Jameson. He's giving what needs to be given. He's protecting Avery. He's funny. He's getting it. I understand what the hype was about. Now everything is falling apart. And tell me why. I feel like the same thing is happening that happened in the Summer I Turned Pretty book. Whereas, remember when Jeremiah, quote unquote, cheated? He didn't cheat. They were on a break. They broke up. Whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. And then he was acting like he just wasn't himself. And the author did that so that everyone could be like, yeah, Conrad. Yeah, Conrad. Because Jeremiah would have never done the things that he did in book 3 in the previous books. You did that so everyone could be a Conrad fan. And then why have a love triangle and why do this and go through all these motions to then just have to do that? That's a waste of time, waste of paper, waste of money. You know what I'm thinking? I liked Grayson for a reason. The Grayson in book 3 isn't the Grayson that I loved and stan in book 1 and book 2. So I'm confused. Jennifer Lynn Barnes? Did you switch Grayson up so that I could become a Jameson stan? Because it's working. Because Jenny Han couldn't do that to me. Because I was a Jeremiah stan. Now, yeah, I was persuaded. I was taken by the hands and pulled to Jameson's side. So what you did worked. Yes, but why are you doing that? Why are you changing Grayson? He's just not himself. I don't know what's going on. Jameson, he feels like himself. But now it's all this back and forth. Where's Nash? I love Nash. Nash is unproblematic, great. He loves Libby with his whole entire being. He wants to have kids with her. Where is he? And I think Grayson's in on it. Because why are you so far up E's ass? I think I need a break. I literally look like a rat. Eve is confessing that this was never about Toby and she just wants the USB that Avery found in Will's tomb. So Will is dead. Toby's dad is dead. So who is Toby's captor? Lord have mercy. I still don't know. But I'm not surprised at all because I haven't liked Eve from the beginning and I haven't trusted her since the very beginning of time. So I'm not surprised. This isn't a shock. I told everyone, no one listened to me. This is what happens. Last chapter. You'll all be receiving your invitations to join the board of the Hannah the Same Backward as Forward Foundation soon. So maybe, like, she made it everyone's money. Oh, like, they could decide what to do with it together. Like, that's cute. The way I can't walk. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Alright, so I finished the Final Gambit in the same shirt as yesterday. Throughout this video, I just got progressively crusty. It's getting bad, but it's fine. This was a really, really good book. I'm thinking 4.75 or maybe 5. I'm not really sure, but this was great. I had an amazing time with it. I was constantly getting punched in the face. The clues... the plot twist, just this book just really had me thinking at a loss for words at some point. So as I was saying, I forget what I was saying actually. Really good book. In the end, Avery decided to give all the money away, and which is honestly amazing because who in this lifetime needs more than $1 billion? Like, oh my god, like that is insane. And she was like, Tobias is not a good man. But I love that they're all the Hawthorne brothers and just everyone that's involved is doing their own thing. Because Avery said for their entire lives they've had this expectation set upon them by Tobias to be these amazing, extraordinary people, crazy, smart, and brilliant, and just gonna do amazing things. But honestly, that's not what everyone wants to do. Not everyone wants to be this grand person and make all this money. Like, Xander's literally working with his dad at his shop. Grayson is handling the business side of the charity. Why didn't we get anything about Toby? Is Toby just stuck with Is Toby just stuck with his grandfather? That's sick. That's the sickest part of the book. Wait, because, like, what about Eve? Like, what? Anyway, what was I talking about before I got there? Oh, Jameson and Avery, they're just taking on the world. Nash is with Libby and they're living life together. Like, I just love that everyone is just living their lives the way they want to and don't have any crazy grand expectations of themselves in their life. Like Avery said in kind of like the epilogue, Tobias was not a good person. The way he acquired this money wasn't the most, like, morally acceptable way. And having all this money, I feel like that's, first of all, that's not like Avery. She wouldn't want to have all that money. In the beginning, she was really just like, no, like, I don't need security. I don't want to live in this house. I don't want to do anything. No. So it makes sense. And I would do the same thing, babe. I would keep some money for myself, of course, live in this big house, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I do not need billions and billions of dollars. I would absolutely be giving it to charity. I love that she named it the Hannah, same backward as forward foundation, in tribute of her mom. Give me a second. Toby's captor, guys, it was Vincent Blake, which the way I was pulled each and every way trying to figure out who this person was, I said it was Vincent. I said it was Will. I said it was David's father. I said Tobias was still alive. Like, y'all, like, I was thinking about every single possibility and I thought I was right, like, maybe 2 or 3 times. I thought I beat the system. And still, when we got to Vincent, I was like, babe, where's your son? Babe, who's the real captor? Because it can't be Vincent. It has to be someone else. But at the end of the day, I recommend the series. The series is crazy. It's so grand. The vibes that you get from it is literally fall. I was playing a fall playlist. Window is open. Breeze is breezing. Why am I holding it like that? Ew. I'm not upset. Like, I'm not sad. I mean, it's like bittersweet that it's over, but you know, it's like, bro, they get to breathe. I'm happy that these characters can breathe and have a normal life because they didn't ask to have this life. I'm just excited. But then that makes me think that if they were given the inheritance, what would they do with it? Charity? Would they be doing what Avery's doing? Probably not. Would they have these normal lives? I don't know. I'm happy with all the relationships in this book. I literally don't have a negative thing to say. I'm glad Eve is upset. I'm glad she feels betrayed. I'm glad she doesn't feel worthy. Like, Toby was literally just like left in the dust. Rebecca exposed them. So the public knows that Toby is William Blake's son. Rebecca had made it clear that she didn't regret stepping into the light. I think Rebecca spilled. Yeah, so that is this vlog. This vlog is literally so long. I don't know why. I like watched over all the clips and I was like, fine, I guess I get why this video is so long. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I look like I got smacked in the face and then pushed into World War II. I'm going to fix this and see you in the next one. Why did it just hit me that like this is over? Unless we get a spin-off. End the video. Wait, because like all the Toby moments, didn't I just say I didn't cry? Babe, now I'm gonna cry because I'm like happy for them. End the video.